what really happened to Grow Garden? Now, out of every single video game that has ever been created, a couple have stood out. Some due to their high graphics and fun, performance. Some for their high player counts and insane sales. But some for just the generic style that keeps people hooked. And that game that might have had the best start in the generic, boring, normal, stud-like simulator tycoon style was Grow Garden. Now, at one point this game was the most popular in the world. Everyone was playing it. But now it seems like it's a dumpster house. Nobody plays Grow Garden other than 200,000 people. Anyways, we need to understand why Grow Garden was popular in the first place for it to actually die in the first place. Well, this game was originally created by a boy by the name of BMW Lux, who has done some pretty stupid stuff. He's doxed people and done some really bad stuff. Nonetheless, he did make the most popular game in the world, so he is technically one of the owners of the most popular game in the world. Now, he did initially create the game in less than 5 days. He didn't make it popular. The game was maybe averaging 1,000 for the first week, until another developer by the name of Jandels was like, yo, can I buy your game? And boom, Jandel bought the game, and the game was blowing up. The game went from just 10,000 players maybe to 300,000 within 1 month. And by May, it would have 500,000 normally. And they had even already broken a Roblox record, and they had gotten 4 million players 10 minutes before their admin abuse. Now, admin abuse was a concept that has been around for years, sort of like the Fortnite live event system, originally created by Onnit, the Beatstorm developer, which there are videos about. He actually did create admin abuse, but Grow Garden definitely popularized it. And yeah, this admin abuse could work, because if you got 4 million or 5 million on your first admin abuse, it definitely worked. Their game was within the top 10 already within just a month. And within 2 months, the game had already started to hit 10 million, then 16 million. And yeah, people liked this game for a lot of reasons. Because one, it was peaceful. Unlike most Roblox games that throw a bunch of game passes at you, or are so stimulating, or just too boring, this game was a mix of everything. But not so, they wouldn't throw game passes, it wasn't too boring, and it wasn't so stimulating, where it was just the right amount of almost everything. There were cool admin abuses that had live animations that were really cool, but they wouldn't throw them at you so much. There was some other cool stuff, and yeah, the game had a seed system where you could buy seeds to, get better plans. And it was a good system, everybody liked it. And yeah, this game blew up. For a while, Grow Garden was the most popular, even breaking a world record, getting 16.4 million players, then 21 million not even 7 days later. Insane work. And this was all before July. Now when July hit, the game drastically blew up even more. The game went from just averaging 2 million to 3 million, to even 4 million on the July weekends. This game was unstoppable. And bro, on the weekends, it was Jandel versus the Roblox servers, bro. The whole Roblox was down. But with the admin abuse concept, you would think it's fairly simple, as there are many plugins and Roblox Studio things that help you do it, as it's just a global message board and an admin panel. Anyone could do it, really. And yeah, everybody started copying them. By the middle of July, everybody had just copied the idea of admin abuse into their own game, as the Jandel didn't really create it, the original, one of the main developers of Grow Garden. He couldn't really do anything, so he just let it be. And while other games like Steel Brainrot or 99 Nights were hitting the millions, they could barely touch Grow Garden at the time. Grow Garden, with 21.3 million players at once, was unstoppable until August rolled around. Now when August rolled around, they had this thing called trading. Now, most games have a trading system, as without trading, there's a lot more scammers. With this thing called the trading ticket, people could trade without getting scammed. But here's the problem. They let you trade money. And Grow Garden has a seed-based game, where one thing is the best and everybody wants it. But here's the thing. Because of the seeds being limited in certain, some of the seeds being limited, it was a real rush to get them. And some people just stopped caring about seeds and more about pets by August. By the middle or start of August. And this had drastically impacted the average player, as they cared more about seeds. More and more people had stupid crowded gardens, but they had good pets. So it made it so Grow Garden was no longer a competitive, plant growing game. It was a competitive pet grinding game, which was completely unfair. As the pet system was more based off of luck and RNG, while the plant system was a lot less based off of that and more based off of actual grind. Now, at this time, a lot of games were also doing admin abuse. with the trading also added. So you could imagine the player count dropped. Not that much though. It was getting 3 to 4 million in July, just 2 to 3 million by the start of August. Not bad. It was still pretty impressive, but I feel like prime summer is probably over once August, like, middle of August, because a lot of people start to go back to school by the middle of August, but not everybody. Not like United States, Canada, which is Roblox's primary audience. Now, because the game was still good, it was still consistently pulling in like 20 million. And it had broke its record a couple times, getting 21.4 million, then 21.5 million, then 21.9 million. Not bad. Sure, not even a million increase, but it was still good increase. Like, that's insane to still pull off. Yeah, but other games were doing admin abuse a bit too well by this time. By the August middle-ish, 99 Nights in the Forest had broke millions, and Steal a Brainrot had broke 10 million. Making it the third biggest game in the world, the main developers knew that they were threatened. So, when Steal a Brainrot hit 15 million one weekend, they went to war. Because Steal a Brainrot for months had been trending behind Grow Garden, just one position behind. But things started to change. Grow Garden and Steal a Brainrot would often start to swap. Not all the time, but on the weekends, sometimes they would swap. Same thing with 99 Nights. But because 99 Nights was a less threatening game as admin abuse wasn't a crucial part, Grow Garden and Steal a Brainrot were the main contenders for this war. And yeah, the war ended with 47 million players. Yes, you heard me right. 47 million players on the entire Roblox. However, Grow Garden got 22.3 million. A 400,000 increase. That's good, but you would expect it to maybe hit, a bit more. But it's still good nonetheless. But how much do you think Steal a Brainrot got? From their 15 million record, you would think it may be slightly increased by what? Maybe a million. Maybe even 2 million. No, they got to 20 million. That's like a 5 million increase. And people immediately started pointing this out, saying, Yo, Grow Garden, Steal a Brainrot's kind of, getting much higher than you. The developers didn't really care at first. But after this admin war, the war where everybody on jandels side was a green bean, everyone on Sammy's side was a Brainrot kid, you could see that the Grow Garden stats went down. Immediately the player count just started going down. I don't even understand why. The game started not even hitting 2 million. It was just 1 million to 1.5 million by the end of August after the admin war. Now by the start of September, the game was definitely losing a lot of players as the updates got worse. The main developer, Jandels, sort of just peaced out because he was working on Roblox's newest creation, Plants vs. Brainrots. Now, Plants vs. Brainrots launched by the middle of September, and by the middle of September, Grow Garden in question had about 600,000 active players, while Plants vs. Brainrots was casually pulling off 1 million, despite not even being 2 months old yet. Yeah, the game was Plants vs. Brainrots was doing way better than Grow Garden. So Jandel, you can picture, was like, screw it, I'm gonna leave. And that's basically what happened. Jandel didn't do any more admin abuse. It was this guy named Jad Latte. And people didn't like that. Jandel's admin abuse was a key part of Grow Garden and why people played it. And yeah, it became sad to many people. And by the end of September, pretty much a lot of people had quit. 50% of the players were gone compared to July. In fact, even on the admin abuse, 50%, because the game was not even hitting 10 million players on the admin abuse, let alone 8 million. The game could maybe get 6 million by the start of October, but by the end of October, this game would rarely hold on to 4 million. And yeah, as November progressed through, the game started hitting new lows. 150,000, 170,000, 200,000. The game would struggle to hold on to 300,000, while in the summer, it would nonchalantly get 3 million like it was nothing. And it just goes to show maybe the admin abuse tactic worked too much. The main developer drifted away, and it's pretty clear you see with all of the other factors combined with the inflation, duping, people got pissed off and left the game for a valid reason. In Steal a Brainrot, they don't have things like dupers or cheaters or something that can dupe things. There's no advantage. It's just luck, and if you get a good server, which sure, it's not good, but it definitely keeps kids more hooked rather than their whole dream being, being collapsed by one dude just using his over powerful pet. 99 Nights has no RNG, just survival. Fish It is also an RNG, but it's more of an AFK nature, while Grow Garden is no longer an AFK nature game. And yeah, you can get a general idea of why Grow Garden died. it's pretty solid that the game had potential. For 4 months, no, 5 months, it was always the biggest game, no matter what. Maybe for like 2 hours each week it wasn't when other games were admin abusing, but there was no other exceptions. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing with a friend because these videos take a ridiculously long of time. And I do stutter a lot, sorry. So I am adding captions from now on. Anyways, hopefully you have a good day. This is Mighty.